Hello everybody, you have tuned in to Eric Jose on Making a Murderer on YouTube. I cover virtually any aspect of making a murderer. I go over the evidence, the documents, the photos. So if you like, stay tuned, and in the future I'll have many more videos besides the one you're about to see. Hello folks, how you doing? We're here today doing a quick video kind of regarding the voice messages, the answering machine messages that are supposed to be, in existence here. So you obviously have the one that we've been hearing, the one that Ken Kratz is running around and playing, the one that is supposedly Barb's. My main bone to pick with these voicemail messages, really, is that the fact that I believe that Theresa Hallback was a very, very professional individual. I believe she took her job seriously, and I think the fact that her job was basically a sales job, she made more money by bringing more pictures and more people willing to put their cars in Auto Trader. She made more money by bringing more people in, and especially if she brought them and cultivated them and brought them in on her own without Auto Trader giving her the lead. Then she made even a little bit more money. So she was a highly motivated salesperson essentially. And when you're a salesperson and you're calling somebody, you use their name. You say, hello, for instance, here it's Beyonda. You would say, hello, Miss Beyonda, or maybe you don't know if it's Mr. or Mrs. So you just say, hello, I'm looking for a Beyonda. Hi, this is Theresa Hallback, blah, 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 blah. That sort of thing. That's what you would do. As a salesperson, certainly. So the fact that that is missing is weird to me. Okay. Going beyond that, then you have the fact that Zellner recently discovered that there's a Brady violation. There's supposed to be a CD of the the message left on the Zipperer's answering machine at their house. It's gone. Bye-bye. Nobody knows where it is. It's gone. It's either lost or destroyed is the way that Zellner puts it, which means it's not where it should be. So then there's that. And then there's also one more thing I'm going to show you in this video, that there actually was a person who Theresa was calling on that day who she didn't actually have an address for. She had a phone number, she had a name, she had that he was from Sheboygan, and she knew that he had 2 cars, well, definitely a moving truck and potentially a second vehicle that he wanted to have her photograph and put in Auto Trader. Okay, so this translates to cha-ching for her because, she gets one more stop and gets 2 more pictures. That's makes it more worth it for her to go one more stop at the end of the day. So it's my belief she could have been calling this guy, and this message could have been left for that guy. Anyways, I don't know exactly how, but there's just, to me, there's, with the way that the facts run, it's possible it was left on Barb's machine. It is possible. I'm willing to say that much. But I also believe it's possible that it could have been from somebody else, because it seems to me that, like I said, it's really hard for me to believe that Theresa didn't address people, especially people she didn't know and who she was trying to basically introduce herself to on the fly in a phone call, on a message, which is always difficult, wouldn't use the name that she already had possession of the name. I mean, it was already there with the phone number when she called it. So she could have easily used the name. Why is she not saying the person's name? Now, obviously, some people going to say I'm making a big deal about this? Sure, maybe there's going to probably be some people that feel I'm making a big deal about this. But I truly believe that Theresa was a very professional person, and it's just my opinion that there should have been her personally addressing who she was calling at the beginning of the call. It's just, my opinion. So, but that's fine. And, it is possible that my opinion may not be valid, but I think a lot of people are going to see it the same way I do, especially a lot of salespeople out there. People that have worked in sales and have done that, they're probably going to be seeing it my way too. Because to be successful in sales, you have to do that. You have to endear yourself to your customers and your clients or potential customers. You have to you have to use all the little tricks in your bag so that you can try to make those those 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 extra sales. So that's all. I'm just this video is just basically going, okay, what does all this mean? What is really going on here? Is there something strange here? Because like I said, I probably wouldn't have made this video if it wasn't for the fact that Zellner called the Brady violation about the missing answering machine message. It was supposed to be in a sealed envelope in the case file, and it wasn't. So that just kind of culminated and made me want to just go ahead and talk about this whole subject right out in the open. And, I hope the comment section underneath this video gets hopping. I hope everybody gets in here and starts offering their opinion. Even those of you who think that they're guilty, go for it. So, anyways, we'll move on to the rest of this video. Miss Halbach's last appointment was at the Zipperers, not the Averys. And the CD of her voicemail left on the Zipperer's answering machine was concealed and or destroyed, notice how she's not exactly sure what, but she just knows it's gone, by the state to mislead the jury into believing Miss Halbach's last stop was Mr. Avery's. Okay, so there you have it, plainly stated that Kathleen Zellner looked for that recording off of the Zipperer answering machine, but there was nothing there. She says it's hidden, lost, or destroyed. That essentially means it ain't where it's supposed to be. So where is it? Well, let's go ahead and have a listen to the message that Mr. Kratz has been running around saying was left on Barb Yonda's answering machine. Let's go ahead and give that one a listen, because I think it's interesting. You're going to find out there. Theresa doesn't reference anybody by name. I mean, you think about it. Theresa's a professional. I mean, she's sharp. She's on top of what she does. I can tell that. Everything about her just screams that she was very professional. She was very courteous. And if she called somebody, she would have said, hello, Mr. or Mrs. Zipperer. Hi, this is Theresa. Da 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 da. She just strikes me as the type that would not have been one to leave out the name of who she was calling. Okay, and we'll see. I'll show you some documents after this where you're going to see she had the name of B. Yonda and she had the name of Zipperer, George Zipperer. She had both of those names in the morning on her appointment sheet. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play the message for you now, and we'll come on back.
Hello, this is Theresa with Auto Trader Magazine. I'm a photographer, and I'm just giving a call to let you know that I could come out there today in the afternoon. It would probably be around 2 o'clock or even a little later. If you could please give me a call back and let me know if that'll work for you, because I don't have your address or anything, so I can't stop by without getting a call back from you. And my cell phone is, thank you.
Okay, so you see what I'm talking about there. Theresa does not actually address anybody. I mean, to me, that's improper phone etiquette. And it seems to me that Theresa would have been the type that would have been very particular about that sort of thing. Especially because she's essentially like a salesman. She is trying to endear herself to people so that they will agree to pay her to take a picture of their car so they can sell it. So she relies on customer service. So this is a huge point of customer service. You try to create a relationship or a kind of a bond by referring to the person by name, and not only that, it helps to dissipate confusion, because then when the person's going, who is this person, but they hear Theresa say their name and they go, okay, and they start to listen. It's just one thing that I know Theresa would have done. If she was calling people like this, she would have totally said their name, and I know she had the Zipperer's name. I know she had at least George's. So she should have been saying there, hello, this is a call for George Zipperer. Or she should have been saying, hi, this is a call for B. Yonda. Okay, because that's what she had on her sheet. B. Yonda. Okay? It should have been one of those two, but it's not there. And here's my thing. The fact that it's not there suggests that this message was not for Barb. That it was actually somebody else, and that whoever, that little bit of it saying who she was calling has been cut out, in my opinion. because it should be there. It's just hard for me to believe that Theresa wouldn't have been addressing the person that she was calling, especially somebody she didn't know, to try to create, you know, a little bit of a bond between her and somebody she just doesn't know. It's just good practice when you're calling people you don't know, is to try to endear yourself to them as much as possible. So, especially when you're a salesman and you're hoping to get a sale out of it. You know, you're hoping to, you know. So, what I'm going to show you now is also the other thing in that message. Do you hear what she said about when she could be out there? She said after 2. She says it will most likely be after 2 o'clock. Okay? That means she's calling. Previous to being there, previous to going there, she's calling and saying that it would be after 2 o'clock. Okay, this is a document that was generated about the call to Beyonda. This was actually printed up the next day on November 1st, but it basically has all the information. I mean, they know everything. They know Beyonda. They know the address at Avery Road and Two Rivers. They know the type of car, Dodge minivan. They've got a lot of information here. So that suggests that Theresa must have been passing some information back for them to get the info. So, I mean, anyways, other thing I want to point out here, it says slotted the time range between 9 and 2 a.m. So that means that this was really pretty much scheduled to be before 2. Obviously, it went a little bit after 2, but I mean, that was the time schedule. And keep in mind, you know, Theresa didn't really get going that day until about 11, so she might have been running a touch behind. So here's a look at Theresa's day planner. Now, maybe it wasn't Zipperer's message that we're hearing in that message I played for you, but it's hard for me to tell if it's really for Barb either, because like I said, it just seems out of character for somebody like Theresa to not, you know, greet somebody personally. What we're looking at here is somebody she might have called on Monday, maybe trying to set up to get these 2 vehicles shot, because we all know a hustle shot pays better than, you know, when Auto Trader sends her out on her own. The hustle shot pays her better. So here's a potential hustle shot with 2 vehicles. So she was definitely likely to be chasing this, and may have been calling this guy and saying, hey, you know, if you got 2 vehicles, I may be able to get out there on Monday. But it looks like she eventually, because he never called back, that she went ahead and was scheduling this for the following Monday. So I basically just have, you know, speculations as to whether or not that message that, you know, Ken Kratz has been playing for everybody was actually left on Barb's machine. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't. It could have been. It certainly could have been. It's like I said. I mean, from what I can tell about Theresa, from what the feeling and the vibe that I get from the type of person she was, the fact that she was a salesman essentially, you know, she was. If she got to take more pictures, she made more money. And if she got those jobs, if she brought those pictures to Auto Trader herself, she got even more money, a bigger share of money for it. So it makes sense that she would be hustling for that, and it makes sense that she would be using all the best, you know, putting her best foot forward in all the ways that, you know, a normal salesman would. Right? That's why it's odd to me that there is no mention of who she's calling in that message. It just seems odd. And the fact that it's not there makes me wonder if it was cut out. So, then you add to that the fact that now we know that a sealed envelope that was supposed to contain the voice message left on the Zipperer's answering machine has come up missing. You know, which is bad. It's a Brady violation, because where is it? You know, everybody should be able to look at it, but clearly it's not in the envelope. You know, Zellner opened the envelope and it wasn't there. So, yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? It's all suspicious. It's all fishy. It makes you wonder. And then you add to the fact of what I showed you there about on her day planner. You know, Steve from Sheboygan, who had a moving truck, and it looks like she made a note that there was possibly 2 vehicles. This means that this was probably a lead that she was cultivating on her own and was going to lead to 2 hustle shots for her, which would be desirable for her, obviously. And if she could have scheduled those in to go to those two right after Zipperer on Monday, and get 2 more shots on and go into one more place, hey, I'm sure she was willing to trace that. So she may have been leaving a message for him, trying to get his address, because it's obviously the address is not there on the day planner. She actually needs that address because it's not there. So that may be a message to him. But even still, I still feel like if she was calling him, it would have said Steve. She would have said, "Hi, Steve. This is Theresa with Auto Trader, and I was in the area today and thought, heard you had a moving van and maybe another vehicle that you wanted to put in Auto Trader possibly, right?" I mean, because that's like I said, that's just good salesmanship. You endear yourself to the customer, because you're trying to get them to purchase the service that you are offering. So that's why it's odd to me that she is not addressing anybody at all in that message. She just calls up saying, "I don't know where you are, and I need you to call me back, otherwise I won't be able to find you," and everything. Which, she ended up finding Barb anyway. I mean, so I just question it, because she also, and the other thing is that in that call she says after 2. Now, mind you, she's making these calls around noon. Okay? She's making these calls to people around noon. So it makes sense to me that if she was calling, if she was calling Barb saying after 2, okay, maybe she might have just realized she was running late, which she was, because like I said, instead of starting around 9, it seems like she got started around 11 that day. So, the fact that she says after 2, that leads me to believe she's talking about somebody else, somebody that she's trying to fit in to the schedule, because she knows she's got Avery, which she's going to get there around a little after 2. Then she's got Zipperer, which, maybe around 3, and she's done with that, and she could easily go and jump over to wherever this guy Steve is and go jump over and get his 2 vehicles. So I'm like I said, I don't know exactly where the voicemail has come from. It may be that it's Barb's. It may be that it was left on Barb's machine. It may be that it wasn't. Who knows? Like I said, when you got a missing voice machine message for the zippers, missing from the case files, and you got Kratz running around playing this message for people on Dr. Oz and at CrimeCon and probably anywhere else that they'll listen to him, So the reason, there's another thing about Kratz. I mean, the guy is so suspect. I will totally be suspicious of anything the man does. If anybody of you haven't heard, recently, Mr. Kratz tried to go ahead and crash what we would say, my friend Tracy has, something like, what you would call a Brendan Dassey supporter safe zone, an inner sanctum for those who are truly, truly dedicated and focused on Brendan Dassey and getting him out of jail because he was wrongfully coerced and everything else. Well, it was on Twitter. Well, Ken Kratz decides to descend upon the little group, decides to start saying, derogatory things, or, at least contradicting my friend Tracy, whose little group it was on Twitter. And he makes the statement, people, listen to this. This is why you have to watch Ken Kratz like a hawk. The man is confused. Okay? He said that nobody ever told Brendan she was shot in the head. It's in a tweet. I could show you proof of it, but I don't think I need to. If y'all want to see it, you could probably go find it yourself. But yeah, I mean, and proceeded to get his booty handed to him. Everybody just got on there and was just like, "Oh, are you kidding me?" No, that's the most famous part of the interview, and just on and on and on. They were just like, people were accusing him of being on the pills again, and just all kinds of things. So, listen, this is your special prosecutor here, Ken Kratz, who apparently prosecuted Brendan Dassey without realizing that the cops spilled the information about her being shot in the head to Brendan Dassey. I don't know how he could have not known that. He probably did know that. But the fact that he could forget that and then try to come into a place where he's not welcome and try to argue that and have his facts wrong. Oh, brother. So, yeah, this is why I will continue to be suspicious of Ken Kratz and anything he does, because give me a break, people. Nobody told Brendan she was shot in the head. What? I mean, this guy is just... Well, he's just something else. That's all I got to say about that. Anyways, that's it for this video, folks. You just gotta kind of ask yourself, why is there so many shady things in this case? The answer would seem pretty obvious. But anyways, that's it for today. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see you